Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 and another part of this series with Ajax where we're trying to become the greatest manager of all time. When we left off last time we just finished our first season at the club. After a long wait we got our transfer budget. It wasn't as much as we maybe thought it would be with the Tycoon having come and taken over the team. But we have gone out and made a few signings. So if we take a look at our transfer history screen here, you can see we have spent £82 million on players, but we've also let £164 million worth of players leave the club. So first up, the big one, Donny van de Beek, has gone £70 million for him. I thought that was just a bit too much money for a player that, while he was really good, 7.55 rating, I don't feel like he was irreplaceable, and he doesn't often go on to become one of the greatest players in the game. So I thought that's a big chunk of money that we can reinvest and get similarly good players in, or just let some of our other players do quite well. We also had Tagliafico go. He managed to go for quite a big offer in the end, 54 million. We've absolutely run Man United out of cash in this summer window, and you can see he didn't even play all of our league games last season. 7.2 ratings, pretty good, but we can bring in other left backs who'll be able to do just as good a job, and it's just a huge chunk of cash. Again, you kind of have to take those offers when they come up. Ziyech obviously had already left the club, so that's three really big players who have left now. And you can see a few other players going for little sums of money. But in terms of players coming in, we have got quite a few. Jude Bellingham, top of the list, £31 million signing. He often becomes a really good player in the game. It also helps, he's an advanced playmaker. He's a almost like-for-like replacement for Donny van de Beek. And he'll be able to meld into the squad over 2 or 3 seasons and really develop into a very good player. Next up, we've brought back Justin Kluivert, who again has the potential to really develop into a great player, can do that inside forward role on the left, and out on the right we can also use him as a winger as and when we need to. He's very good for both flanks when he's not got an injury, but he's been doing well, playing consistently with Roma last season despite not being always the first team choice. Michy Batshuayi, just a little bit of a filler here. This is kind of replacing Milik last season. He's come in just £10 million. I think that's a decent amount of money. He played about half the Premier League games last season. Didn't do too brilliantly, but he's an advanced forward. He can play that in that role. He can also do the false 9 role, which is really important as well. 14 finishing. He's just a solid buy for 10 million. Baba Rahman, an attempt to fill in the Tagliafico hole. Sometimes he can develop, expand on this current ability. Currently rated 2.5 stars. He played quite a lot for Mallorca in Spain last season. And for £8 million, it's not much of a risk. We'd probably get that money back. Currently worth 9.5. Anthony joined the club. He was a pre-arranged signing. He can often do extremely well over time and actually develop into a top quality striker. It's the finishing we'll want to improve if he is playing as a false 9 up top. So across Anthony and Michy Batshuayi, we've got decent cover in that false 9 role and up front with Tadic and Edouard, so we're in a very comfortable position there. And we've also got Fabio Silva, who can become an absolutely incredible player. Advanced forward, another player who can fill that false 9 role. So that's 5 decent strikers up top for this season who could potentially develop into something very special. A couple of loan players also coming in. The first one, I can't believe I got, Gini Wijnaldum, coming on loan. We can buy him for I think 38 million or 40 million, something like that. But at the moment, happy to take him on loan. He is the immediate replacement for Donny van de Beek. He can do the advanced playmaker and box-to-box midfielder roles. So while Jude Bellingham gets up to speed a bit at game time, Wijnaldum would do most of that work. And also another left back option if Baba Rahman doesn't work out. We've got Brandon Williams on loan. If he doesn't play in the team, he's only 10 grand a week on loan. It really doesn't matter. So he has just said help fill out the squad a bit and make sure we've got the right kind of players available to us if there are injuries or people just drop out of form. So overall we're in a decent shape, and the other good thing is we still have 70 million and £500,000 a week to spend in wages. We could go out and just sign an absolutely spectacular player. There aren't too many out there that I'd really go for at the moment. This is the current transfer list. Jonathan Tah is an option for 41.5 million at centre back. We probably could go for another centre-back. We don't have an enormous number of them if we sort this by best position. You can see we've got 4 proper centre-backs with Lisandro Martinez, Per Scherz, Alvarez and Ruben Dias. I'm reasonably comfortable with this. We do also have players who can come across from these positions and fill in at centre-back if we need to. So Kik Pieri can definitely fill in there. Daley Blink can fill in there at centre-back. So we're pretty well covered, and we've got a big squad. So we're in a really good position all in all. And I'm not too worried about where the squad is. The question is, are there really good players that we can bring in and help us in that Champions League race? Because that's where our focus needs to be. It's not so much about the league now. It's about the Champions League. And you can see in pre-season we did well. We won the Friendly Cup in Belgium against Le Mans and Genk. We also beat Club Brugge 4-3. They had a late comeback after we went 4-0 up in the first half. And we also beat Barcelona. Lionel Messi scored twice, but couldn't stop us thanks to a David Barrow late goal. We actually came back from 3-1 down to win this game 4-3. A very, very good match for us. And now we have AZ Alkmaar in the Super Cup, looking to retain that, another friendly, and then we'll take on NAC Breda in the first league game of the season. No Champions League draw yet. We've got a few league games to get through before then. So for today, for the first game of the season, we do have Tadic and Traore starting out at 4. Lassina Traore has really come along quite a bit in pre-season, and I'm excited to try him out. He does have that 15 finishing, so he could get a bit more time this season. He played well when he did play last year, and so he's going to start today. We then have Zaracho and David Neres. Lots of people came in to try and sign David Neres, but they're only offering about 12 million for him, which I can't really understand why he's valued at 17 million when he's on a contract for another 3 years. Just seems to be a little bit of a glitch, but I'm not going to let him go for anything less than 60, 70 million. Then it's going to be Wijnaldum and Barrow in midfield with Blint, Martinez, Scherz, Mazraoui and Onana in goal. Plenty of players on the bench for us to bring on as well. Quincy Promes is still here. Cliver is injured but could come on. But Gravenbach and Diaz both injured as well, and a few players still on international leave, which is a little bit frustrating, but there's not a lot you can really do. So if we jump into this match now against AZ Alkmaar, giving Jude Bellingham the number 25. I'm excited to see how Gini Wijnaldum does. Justin Kluivert as well, 2 Dutch players coming back to the country to play for Ajax. So I really expect us to get the win here. I'll be very disappointed if we can't add another trophy to the collection against AZ Alkmaar. They should not really be putting up too much of a fight here. They haven't strengthened particularly well. David Neres puts the ball in. Martinez with the header, and there you go. 9 minutes in, Lisandro Martinez does give us a lead against AZ Alkmaar. But like I said, many of the teams in the league have not strengthened, so I'm not expecting as much of a challenge from Feyenoord this season, really. It's more about that Champions League campaign, who we get and how we do. And I think the question now is, who do we sign with the money we have left, as Doki manages to get the header in from the free kick. Looped over Onana, that one. It wasn't even that dangerous a ball in, I don't think. Jordi Classy with it. Not much bend on it, just sort of bend, a little bit of bend right at the end, but not that much. It was quite a straight ball up, down, and then off the header for a loop, which isn't great to go behind in that fashion. But yeah, I think the attention now is who do we bring in? I'm tempted by Jonathan Tah, but I'm not sure he always turns into the player you want him to in this version of FM. He is obviously a wonder kid, but I'm just not sure he's going to be as great as you would like. So I'm sort of keeping the powder dry and keep the options open as Boadu steals the ball, comes inside, and Onana with the save, cleared away by Per Scherz. But we aren't quite dominating this game as much as we maybe should be at this point. It's still 1-1. I'm a little bit disappointed in the team, going to demand a bit more from them. We've got a throw here, Daley Blind puts it in, Traore is there, it's off the post I think, and then cleared away by De Wicht. But at the moment, not quite getting the result we would like. In terms of options, we do have Batshuayi on the bench who we could bring on if we need to in the second half, as Boadu has the ball, sent back to Evian. Jordi Classy out wide to Wijndal. Now Evian, ball just being passed between all the players with J in their name. Here's another one. Mazraoui does get the tackling, that's what we like to see. got the counter-attack. Nearly half-time here. The players will be looking for a goal so they get positive encouragement, not negative feedback. Traore comes back to Zaracho. Tadic is there. It's off the post. It's in off the keeper. Sergio Pat scores an own goal, and we do have a 2-1 advantage now. It's a shame Dusan Tadic doesn't get that one on his score sheet. But Traore had his shot blocked. Zaracho's ball across, and Tadic on the volley off the base of the post, and the keeper unlucky with his dive to have the ball hit his back and go in. But we'll take it. We're 2-1 up. AZ have been very clinical. 4 shots, 4 on target. We've had 9, but only 4 on target. But like I said, the team are going to score now, so they get that positive feedback. And we've got 45 minutes left to go. David Neres in from the corner, and Martinez makes it a brace here in the Dutch Super Cup final. An excellent header again at the near post. Makes it 3-1, and that should really be the game all over. Pat couldn't get there. He's not had the best game today, and we have a nice 3-1 lead. And we can also think about potentially bringing on some of our new players as substitutes. So let's just see what happens. See if Martinez can get the hat-trick. It's cleared away. Tadic to Wijnaldum, blocked off. Now Romario Barro. Wijnaldum out to Per Schurz. Zaracho to Neres. Now Traore. Players in there. Barro beats the keeper at the near post. 4-1. It's all over, and we can look to change things up now. I might give Anthony his debut. Barro can definitely come off for Jude Bellingham as well. And we'll just leave it there for now. Zaracho here played it across. Neres teed it up for Traore. Good hold-up play from him across, and Barro snapped it into that near post. Keeper wrong-footed. And it's just 4-1. So half an hour still to go. We could get 2 or 3 more here. It'd be nice for some of the new players like Anthony here to show what they can do. And he has got it. He puts it across. Zaracho's header. Anthony gets an assist less than a minute into his debut. He literally only just come on, and he now has the assist. A really good one as well, because Blint here with the long throw. Anthony with a good awareness. Got past the defender. Controlled it well. A nice little run. And then the thought and ability to pick out Zaracho there on the far side of the box. And a very good header from him to make it 5-1. But like I said at the start, I wasn't expecting too much of a challenge here. Bold for AZ to go for a 4-3-3 formation against us. They probably needed a bit more in midfield to cope with us. Because normally we struggle when teams do pack out the midfield because we only have the 2 central midfielders. They didn't take that approach. They're a bit top heavy. And it means that we've been able to really exploit that in the middle and in behind the defence. And at 5-1... we are very happily seeing the rest of this game out. And there you go, a nice little trophy celebration. And we do have our 3rd piece of silverware on this road. A very, very long road to replacing Sir Alex Ferguson at the top of the managerial leaderboard. But a nice 5-1 victory there, not 9-1. And we get to celebrate consecutive Super Cup wins. First time we've done that since the mid-2000s, so very nice that. But yeah, time to go away. Got another friendly, and then we'll see if we can bring anybody in. I'm not paying 64 million for Max Aarons. That is a ridiculous amount of money, even though he can become a very good player. But I'll see you guys shortly, and hopefully we will have made a little bit of a dent into this transfer budget by the time we get there. Well, no further signings since that last match. There's really just not many options out in the market without paying 100 million for a sort of middling to average wonder kid. So it's just a case of carrying on with what we've got until an opportunity comes up, usually after the rollover of another month into August from July. You do get a few more options appear, a couple of extra players on the transfer list, and certainly by the end of the deadline there's always a little bit more movement in the market, so we'll just have to keep an eye out for what comes up and not rush into any silly decisions. For today we do have an injury to Lassina Traore. He scored twice in the friendly for the last match to keep the 100% record up. 2 goals for him, 1 for Gini Wijnaldum against Chimfeas. And now against Breda, we've got a pretty strong team out there. Fabio Silva is going to make his debut up top with Tadic in that false 9 role. Neres and Zaracho on the wings, Wijnaldum and Barrow in the centre. Then Blint, Martinez, Diaz coming back from injury in the centre. He's unhappy at the moment. Something to do with my decision making. I'm not fully understanding quite what that is, what he's unhappy. Although I didn't improve the coaching team. He'll get over it. Veltman comes in at right back with Onana in goal. Still playing with Blint out on that left back position at the moment, but part of that is to do with his chemistry with David Neres. But I imagine as he gets a little bit older and maybe starts to decline, we'll probably see Bubba Rahman come in there a little bit more in that left back position. But the ball's sent out now. Tadic has it. Need to get off to a good winning start here in the Eredivisie. It'd be nice to get an unbeaten season this season if we can. Veltman on the right flank. He's got 4 in the box, 2 on the edge of it. Comes out to Zaracho. Now Veltman again into Tadic, blocked, and eventually they have cleared it out to Ruben Dias. But we're already looking like we could get a goal. Now here's David Neres on the left flank. Ball inside to Barrow. Sent back to Martinez. Now ball switched across to Fabio Silva. Slipped into Zaracho, and that is denied by the goalkeeper. Only in the 3rd minute of this game. Neres with the corner in. It's cleared away to Wijnaldum. He can't do anything with it. Really hoping Wijnaldum doesn't get recalled from this loan. I'm not sure he necessarily will be recalled, but it is a risk with some of these Premier League teams. I'm pretty sure they have the option to do that. We do have a little knock out there, but we'll be okay for now. Zaracho on the attack. He's got players arriving. Goes to Veltman. He drills it in, and Joel Veltman gets the first goal of this Eredivisie season, flashing it across into that bottom corner, and we have a nice 1-0 lead. Zaracho there beat the defender and then held it up while players arrived, teed up Veltman, 1 touch, 2 touch, and then 3rd one in the back of the net for a very good finish. And we do have the lead, and I would expect we're going to hang on to it when they are not really creating any chances. Now I'm going to take David Neres off in a minute because he's not getting back up to a high level of fitness. I'll quickly do that now. Who have we got who can come on? Justin Kluivert still got a knock, so it's going to be Quincy Promes rather than risk Kluivert at this stage of the season. Now Veltman's won the ball. Forward to Fabio Silva. Ball outside, headed away. David Neres has it. He goes down the left flank, back to Blint. Puts the ball in, cleared away. Zaracho still got it, keeping it alive. Puts it in again, and this time Dusan Tadic does get off the mark for the season. Top scorer in the Eredivisie last year, and now he is off the mark in the first game of this season. I'm expecting another really good season from him. However, if a bid were to materialise and we can shift him for 40 million, I wouldn't be opposed to that. We've got enough good strikers in the wings ready to go who could also do that false 9 role. Not necessarily as well, but they could be trained to do it as well. As Dogan puts the ball in, and they've got a goal back out of nowhere here. Just a classic corner towards the near post, and it's ended up in the back of the net. Dogan here with the corner. Header came in, and El Alucci with the header right into that top corner, and it's now 2-1, so the game a little bit tighter than it probably should be at this stage. As Shooten gets the play underway again for Breda, and Wijnaldum has won it, and he's run straight through the defence. He's going on his own, Wijnaldum, and he's just put that one wide. That would have been nice if he could have just sheer force of will made a goal happen. But half an hour gone. Some players doing particularly well, others still bang average in the ratings. As Blint puts the throw in, it's spilled or pushed out by the keeper. But Ilic bringing it forward to Breda. Barrow tries to win the ball back, but Ilic keeps it. Nacho all the way back to Nick Olic. He sends it forward, but straight to Quincy Promes there. He didn't even have a player in that area. And Promes slips it through to Tadic, but it's a good save by the goalkeeper, who just about manages to keep that one out. I mean, they've had that one shot, one goal situation. It does make me a bit nervous if we don't get another one. Ruben Dias away, not cleared properly. El Alucci does lose out to Wijnaldum, but they manage to keep the ball. Blint with a header away. There's Wijnaldum. Back to Blint. He finds Quincy Promes. Now Fabio Silva holds it up, finds Zaracho. He's in on goal, and he does make it 3-1 right before half-time. We have our 2-goal lead back, and that should leave us in a very comfortable place to take the 3 points and get the season off to a winning start. Silva there doing well to hold it up, found Zaracho. Little tackle came back off Zaracho and left him in a place to tuck it home for 3-1. So Zaracho, good start to the season for him. 2 assists and a goal today. As Promes puts the ball in, it's cleared away, comes back towards Promes, but there's a a foul in there or a handball, and we've got a penalty out of pretty much nothing. Is it going to be Sriracha or Tadic on this one? It is Dusan Tadic for his second of the game, and he does make it 4-1. 2 for him today. Starting off very well in this Eredivisie season. And any worries from that Breda goal definitely extinguished now with that finish. They're not going to get 3 in this second half, and we can start to look ahead to really kicking off this Eredivisie season. I'm not going to spend too much time in the Eredivisie over the coming episodes in this second season. It's not going to be a shock if we win it. Obviously, if it looks like it's going to be a tight race and that Feyenoord or other teams are going to push us quite hard, then we can reassess that and we can pick up crunch games as and when they happen. But the majority of Eredivisie teams are not really at the level that we are, and Breda, now down to 10 men, have just made their life infinitely harder. I'm not sure whether to maybe go a bit more attacking. I might bring Sriracha off, given he's losing fitness quite quickly here. Anthony can play in that right wing role, so we'll drop him in there while Kluivert's still got a knock. Might also take off Wijnaldum now as well, and we can bring Jude Bellingham on for a little bit of a run out. I want to get him as much match experience in the Eredivisie as I can, because if we can supercharge him early, we'll have him at a higher level of performance for a longer time in his career. But like I say, I'm not sure how long I'll be in the Eredivisie with Ajax. I want to have a couple of cracks at this Champions League and then think about moving on to another team. So we may not see some of these youth players really develop into world-class players, and Bellingham there just putting it over the top, not able to get his first goal for the club. 10 minutes left to go. We've absolutely dominated Breda. They've got a 100% scoring record from efforts they've taken. You'd think that I'd maybe encourage them to have a few more shots, and they have had one now, but it's gone wide, ruining that record. But a nice 4-1 win. The game over in the first half, and nothing of any substance happening in the second. So we're in a good place there to really kick on. 100% record since pre-season. Another bit of silverware in the back pocket. And next we'll probably just go through all of these games until we get to the Champions League draw. We could maybe pick up with Feyenoord, given that they were our runners-up last season, but we'll see how we get on. So it'll either be Feyenoord or this Champions League game, maybe both in the next episode. But if you've enjoyed this one, do drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel. But until next time, see ya!